privilege of having a dear friend with me today, Sherman Tse. He is a martial arts instructor. Thank you for joining me today, Sherman.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for
So,
inviting me.
Sherman, martial arts, my show is showcase how people can be a better you, and martial arts does help people with their fitness and health. So, tell me, how long have you been studying martial arts?
About 10 years now.
Uh
Time
huh.
flies. Yep.
Wow. And is this a cultural thing for you, martial arts?
Yes. I'm from Hong Kong myself, and
Mm-hmm.
Kung Fu, I train Kung Fu myself, a
Uh-huh.
particular style of martial arts. And I really want to promote the beauty of Kung Fu to the general public. And also, I have a desire to help other people
Mm-hmm.
to strengthen the body, empower themselves
Mm-hmm.
through martial arts or through
Mm-hmm.
Kung Fu.
How did you get introduced into Kung Fu?
Cut a long story short, I grew up in Hong Kong.
Uh-huh.
My dad is a martial artist himself. He trains in Wing Chun Kung Fu,
Uh-huh.
which is the original style of Bruce Lee. And growing up in Hong Kong, heavily influenced by Bruce Lee, I always wanted to learn Kung Fu. But my dad didn't allow me to do it. So I started to learn Kung Fu after my military assignment here, and I went to the college here, and I started to train Wing Chun Kung Fu with my instructors. And I've been learning it for almost like 10 years.
Uh-huh.
My current instructor is a Dragon Style master from China, and I've been training with him for 7 years.
Uh-huh.
He's both Dragon Style and Tai Chi instructor,
Uh-huh.
a master himself. And I'm very, very grateful to learn from him.
Uh-huh. Now, you've mentioned several different types of martial arts. Can you explain to us the difference between karate, kung fu, and the Western type?
Sure. Generally speaking, karate,
Uh-huh.
taekwondo, and all the other judo, all the other martial arts, like they are the Asian style, called the traditional classical martial arts.
Uh-huh.
Karate is from Japan or Okinawa. Taekwondo is from Korea. It's a Korean national sport.
Uh-huh.
Kung Fu is originally from China.
Uh-huh.
There's so many different styles in China, but in general, we call it Kung Fu in general term. Kung Fu originally called the skill of hard work.
Uh-huh.
The Western martial arts like Roman Greco wrestling, boxing, and right now the mixed martial arts, they all, or Muay Thai kickboxing, they all the Western style martial arts. They are very competitive, and they're sports, very competitive sports approach to their martial arts.
There's a term, I was doing some research on this, called, and let me spell the word because I know I won't be able to pronounce it.
Try me.
Washu?
Wushu.
Wushu. So I was close.
Wushu, that's
I was
right.
close.
That's right. Wushu is the Chinese term of Kung Fu also.
Uh-huh.
It's a synonym of Kung Fu. Why created another term of Wushu?
Uh-huh.
Wushu is particularly the performance arts created by the Chinese government after the 1949.
Uh-huh.
Strictly for performance on stage, just like
Oh.
dancing, just like gymnastics, but they mix in a lot of traditional Kung Fu movement.
Oh.
But they're not designed for fighting or combat.
Uh-huh.
Like for instance, Jet Li. You know Jet Li in the movies. Jet Li was the Wushu champion.
Oh, really?
That's why he got picked on the movies.
Uh-huh.
But he was not trained to go on combat or fight on the ring or kickboxing. No, he doing for show, for performance. The martial arts, the Kung Fu style that I learned from my mentor, and all the other called Kung Fu, like Bruce Lee trained in Kung Fu style, is particularly trained for combat or for strengthening the health, but not for show.
Oh, okay, I see.
Right.
So what are some of the benefits for training in Kung Fu, the type that you train in?
The major benefits
Uh-huh.
are the strengthening the body. First of all, Kung Fu train your body to be stronger first, and empower empower yourself. So in a minute, I'm going to demonstrate in front of camera that what I train, that exercise does empower your body and also distress yourself
Oh,
and
really?
improve the flexibility.
Uh-huh.
So my mentor always said that before you train any kung fu or any type of martial arts, you gotta ask yourself, what do you train the kung fu for? Is it for combat, or is it for show, aesthetic reason, or something else? The type of kung fu that I trained with him does improve the body. It has to improve the body, to strengthen the body in order to learn the kung fu side, the combat side of it. And I will explain that later. Is the whole framework, the foundation is so important.
There's a common saying, train both internal and external. What does that mean exactly?
Internal, external is a very common term. Very good. I'm very impressed with the question that you come up with. That's awesome. Generally speaking, external martial art you can just think of like sports. Anything that utilize a muscular force to execute a movement. So you think about Shaolin boxing, karate, anything that requires what you see on TV. The speed, muscle power, endurance, all the fighting aspects combined together, that's external. Basically, using the muscle, using muscular force, using the heavy cardio, endurance thing to perform the action, that's external. Internal, you're not thinking about the muscle. You think about the inside of the body, like the bone, the tendons, the ligaments, how to strengthen it in order to execute a move. Also, there's a term called qi. Qi is just the breathing. People always say the qigong thing. Qi basically is just breathing. They utilize strengthening the breathing technique to execute the motion, the action.
So why is that important to have, I guess, good breathing?
Well, because martial arts in China or kung fu in China are not just for young people to fight, to combat, to show on stage, but you see old people, they train in the park when they turn 60 after retirement, and they're still very healthy. The body inside, the internal organs, very healthy, and the joints are very preserved. And they train the Tai Chi or the Qigong thing. Basically, they're older, they cannot run for 10 miles like young people for the cardio exercise. So Chinese people come up with the Qigong. Basically, it's an exercise without running, but strengthening your respiratory system.
I want to ask you one more question. And you may not like this question, but
I'm sure I would like it. Go ahead.
do you think Hollywood is giving a good light to karate or kung fu with the movies that they have out there?
Look at the positive side. Absolutely. Of course, all of us. Nobody knows about Kung Fu, Karate Kid. You know, I can always say that, and it's true. You combine Jet Li, Bruce Lee, and Jackie Chan together. Three people, three superstars that are from Asia, from Hong Kong, to promote Kung Fu. It's not even better than one Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda.
Well, that was a cartoon.
Really, right, but it reached out. It reached out to the public. That kids, the parents, and everybody watched. That really reached out to the general public that, oh, Kung Fu is cool. It's not just Asian people doing it.
Right.
Everybody can do Kung Fu. Years ago, I love the movie Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off from Mr. Miyagi. And really reach out to Americans or to the West that, hey, karate, that people can train karate, the traditional way, and it's just really cool looking, and people can achieve that. I think for that perspective, it's very positive that Hollywood, to promote Kung Fu or karate through movies. Just sometimes they exaggerate the action that I cannot do it, and my mentor cannot even do it. I mean, it just, for enhancement, for entertainment purpose. So people just need to take it as entertainment. Just don't think about, oh, Kung Fu, I want to go to school tomorrow to train, to learn. I can jump up in the air for 30 feet above the air.
You're right.
One person can beat up 20 guys. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
You better have your good insurance. But
I know I've only asked you a couple questions, but am excited to see what you have to show me. And I understand you brought some of your students with you today.
Yes, a couple of my
So,
assistant and student
and we're
to
going to take
show.
a short break so we can clear this out and we can see you demonstrate some of those moves, okay?
Awesome.
All right. Welcome back to Betty. I'm your host, Cynthia Thompson. I'm here with Sherman Tse, and he's going to demonstrate for us a few martial arts moves. But, Sherman, what's a common question that people ask you?
One of the common questions people ask me is what's the difference between sports and Kung Fu?
Uh-huh.
Simple difference is that the simplest explanation is that sports utilize muscular force. Look at the picture that I brought, the first one. You can see the superhero of the Incredibles.
Uh-huh.
Look at his body size. You know, he is very upper body heavy. He trains his arm, upper body strength is really heavy, but the legs is kind of skinny.
Uh-huh.
Kung Fu is the opposite.
Oh.
Look at the second picture, which is a simple tower crane. But tower crane has a very strong foundation at the bottom of the legs, of the bottom part of the equipment. And it can move, deliver very heavy object. And that exactly, and the structure, everything, is very bottom heavy. And that is the primary difference between sports and Kung Fu. That most people, they really train the muscular force and the upper body strength and lower body too, but Kung Fu really focus on the framework, which I'm going to show.
And so, would you like to introduce your two
Absolutely.
folks here?
Today we have this muscular guy. This is my buddy, Dan. Dan has been training in weightlifting for many, many years. He was in, just like me, he was in the army too. And he has been training with the wellness and Kung Fu for quite some time, since February, but he really enjoys it. And also, we have Nada. Nada, I just show her how to do a basic movement from the Kung Fu training that I learned. And she's very interested in it. And, female, male, different age group, for health and fitness, everybody can do it. So today I'm just going to show the basic movement of what I learned from a mentor. For wellness only. It's not for combat, but for wellness, for health and strengthening body. And now we let these guys to show the effectiveness of the movement. There's some meaning behind it. So
I'm gonna step out of the way.
Okay, in Kung Fu, you have to train the foundation that I stand sideways that you guys can see. The foundation is the bottom part of the body, the legs basically, and the feet. It has to be really rooted to the floor. And stand up, this is the very basic frame that we train in Kung Fu. The spine elongated, the crown of the head pointing towards the sky, and put a lot more energy on the calves to push against the heel so that it will be rooted. And then the first exercise is very simple. Basically, looks like this. This really just loosen up the shoulders, okay? It looks just like what you guys call the PE stretching or warm-up exercise. But most people, when they do it, they just do this. This is what most people do, right? But you see the upper body moving around. We have to go it like this, and you 100% moving on the shoulder joints to loosen it up for this exercise. Why? I'll show you in a minute. So, this is just the one basic exercise. Very simple work on the shoulder joints. And I'm going to ask Ms. Nada to do it just as it is. You may want to face this way, facing just a little bit. And you do the same exercise that I do. So she put a lot of energy on her calves and push against the heel so that she'll be rooted. Her head is like really, okay. Tuck the chin down and you just rotating the shoulders. So that using the legs, even like blocking along the way, I cannot stop her. Well, if I use muscular force, I cannot stop it because you're using her legs and the whole framework. So you can stop. So basically, is that she looks like just like swinging the arm, but all her energy is from the feet from the ground to borrow the energy, and this only the working on the shoulders. So for instance, if I grab her arms right here, she want to get rid of me. She will use her legs to move me out of the way. But this is just an exercise. This is just for training. Of course, it's not a martial arts move. Now, this exercise right here, I will ask Dan come up right here. You do the same thing, okay? Now he has a horse stance right here. Just do the same thing. Very good. So if I try to move her up, he is using the legs to do the work. Okay, good. Now, remember I just said that, step back for a second, you have to have a framework right here to do the exercise. So I will show you. Dan is going to put a half Nelson on me. And I will try to use, first I will try to use muscular force to unlock it. Second, I will use Kung Fu way to do it. So then, you look at Dan's arms, look at his arms. Okay, he is a lot stronger than I am, right? Man, I love this. All right, if I try to use muscular force, okay? Oh, geez, strong. But you see, my body structure is not, somebody gotta be stronger than you. All right, so from here, first, I use the legs and get my chest straight. One more time, do it strong. Push it forward, yep, very strong first. I get this swing. You have to have the spine straight. Okay, second of all, talk about strength training. Muscular force, okay? I want Dan to hold a fist like this, okay? Look at his arms, look at mine. He's much stronger bigger than mine, okay? If I use muscular force to press his arm down right here, you resist, okay? I can only do so much. But if I use the whole spine, use the legs right here, my arms are relaxed this time. All right, try one more time. They may think that it's choreographed. Just try one more time. Use a
It's not choreographed.
Flex your gun now. This, first, using muscle. I may be able to take care of this lady, but not him. Now, Kung Fu. Basically, I'm doing this. Instead of using this part of arm to press him down, I relax my whole arm. When I relax my arm, I got weight on it. I got bone inside. Right here, that's good. Now, one more time. This, we're using the arm. This, using the shoulder, bring it down. Okay, good. Very good. Now, so also, in Kung Fu, we have this kind of movement. Like you get a stance, you grab this way, using the legs, this movement right here. Basically, it's really training using the legs to turn the whole torso of the body. Now, I have Dan to do it. So he's going to do this movement. You may want to stand right here because you make me fly all the way to the stage.
Okay.
So, right here. So you do it a couple of times and then just by yourself. So he's using the legs instead of using the upper body strength. Okay, try it now. I gave him the resistance. Try to use your arm first to pull me. Use the upper body strength using arms. Okay, try one more time. It's strong. Okay, use the legs this time. Yeah. One more time. I feel like I'm in Carowinds. Use the muscle this time. It will be like this. You know how much energy do you use?
A lot.
To move my body, okay? I'm not even that heavy, okay? The use the legs, use the Kung Fu. Basically, observe his legs and spine movement combined together. Use less arm power. Use more legs. Yep. Now, if I do the same thing to him, my size, 175 pounds, okay? If I use muscle, okay, right here, you resist, right? I even lost balance. I lose a lot of energy. But if I use Kung Fu just like this, okay, just like this, come back here. Now, one more time. This arm power. Because of a body strength, I cannot compete with him. Use the legs, use a stance. Okay? Anyway, so one more exercise I would like to show is that basically looks like this. It really stretch out your arms. So in the beginning, you stand like this. It connects your arm together. You go using the legs. Really reach out to stretch the shoulder. Really reach out, bring it back, going this way. Okay? Now, Miss Nada to do it the same thing. Make sure you use your legs. Yep. Basically, the elbow bringing towards your hip bones. Push it out. This is from the elbow in Chinese facing downward. It's called 沉降, means sinking the elbow. That just like mechanically sound, the elbow, if you move, you have no power. Like if I give her resistance, push me out using the legs, there you are. Then try that. Now if it's too heavy, use the legs more. Focus on the legs. There you are. There, very good, very good. That's good. Now, one more exercise I would like to show. It's just like this. This is all warm-up exercise, okay? It looks just like this. Okay? Then we'll demonstrate it. Okay, good. Now, then stand back for a second right here, and you do it. You just do it using your legs to do it. Upper arms, I call it using minimum wage. Here, put your 65 for six-figure income down in the legs to finance the operation, finance the work. Instead of this is all I exaggerate, upper body, okay, just so you're working on the machine to work on the chest. This using the legs, control manner. Try it. Okay. Use the legs. Okay, good. Now try to use muscle. Doing the same work. Upper body strength, okay? You see, you're struggling, huh? You're strong, but it's still using the legs again. Okay, good. Wow, I feel like heroines. One last thing we'd like to show is that in Kung Fu, we never use pound against pound like this because he is stronger than me. I'm fighting against him. That's against Kung Fu principle. Kung Fu is all about a circular movement. For instance, sinking the elbow. If I go forward like this, I turn this way. It combines the circular motion. For instance, if we grab my arm like this, if I want to extend my arm like this, okay? If I use my upper body strength, see right here, I get stuck. I get stuck using muscle. If I swing my elbow. And I just use the legs. That's one way. Now, if I turn the forearm bone, like right here, turn right here, like a bullet. Turn. Here you finish. From here, pull it back. That will increase more power. For instance, if I do the same work from here, without turning, will be this way. With turning, without turning, turning. Now, pulling back, same thing. Straight back will be like this. Adding that turn will be able to do the same work. So this in Kung Fu, we do a lot of exercise like this. Turn like this, but it can affect people. So in other words, in Tai Chi, you see people doing Tai Chi, doing all the slow motion, okay? But if you don't have any framework, you're just doing a slow motion of lumberjack, jumping jack, I'm sorry. Slow motion of jumping jack. But if you have the framework, that will have the impact on other people. So, in other words, all the wellness exercise, you can train it to strengthen your body, to build a framework, and more grounded, and improve your personal power. As you can see, whenever you do anything, if people blocking you, stopping you, you can affect other people. By yourself, you can enjoy it. So, this is the first lesson that I learned from my mentor. So all this exercise is all body weight. You don't have to use any equipment.
Sherman, I really enjoyed watching that because she looked really strong, the young lady that you had up here with you, just
yes.
from moving her arms. So if someone wanted to contact you about classes, how would they reach you?
They can contact me at the number I will give it to you, and or you can visit my website at www.themartialartsforlife.com. themartialartsforlife.com, all spelled out in one word. So
thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
If you want to find out more information about Sherman, you can visit my website at www.abetteryouShow.com and stay tuned every Wednesday at 6 p.m.